Rayo Breckenridge Outdoors is brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, by Jim Walter Homes, building together to save you money, by Daiwa, committed to total quality, and by Red Man Chewing Tobacco, sponsors of the Red Man Tournament Trail.
Bill Dance, Roland Martin, and Rayo Breckenridge have teamed up with Mr. Twister Lures, Keeper Bait Company, and DuPont Strand to offer you a Field Tester's Lure Package that's valued at more than $35. It's yours for only $19.95. That's right, just $19.95 plus $2.05 postage and handling for a lure offer worth more than $35 retail. The Field Tester's Kit is packed with 150 Mr. Twister Lures, including 50 Budline worms, plus an assortment of sassy shad, lizards, and grubs. There's also a 10-pack of Keeper Concept hooks, an 8-ounce bottle of Keeper Bait Company's revolutionary new Fish Formula 2, and a 100-yard spool of Strand fishing line. In addition to Strand's knot tying booklet, fishing tips booklet, and $2 gift certificate, good towards the purchase of more Mr. Twister products. A total retail value of more than $35 for just $22, including postage and handling. Send check or money order to Cinesport, Post Office Box 139, Little Rock, Arkansas 72203. A money order will speed shipment of your order. Allow 4 weeks for delivery.
You know, Natural Light's the beer with the taste for food, and it doesn't take much guessing to tell which food's my favorite. Now, Natural Light and I've got an offer that's going to help you catch those big bass. It's our latest book, Bass and Objects. It'll tell you exactly how, when, and where to catch plenty of bass. You'll also get my new Natural Light recipe book with ideas on how to cook them up. Plus this 6-pack of my favorite Strike King lures, buzz baits, spinner baits, and aquatic spoons. A 100-yard spool of DuPont Strand, a knot book, and an 8-ounce bottle of new Formula 2 that attracts fish by scent. It's the secret of some of the best-known fishermen in the country. And to top it off, there's this handsome Natural Light cap and patch. Now, here's how to order.
You can order this complete package, a retail value of over $50 for only $22.95 by calling 1-800-453-1983. Get this special offer from Bill Dance and Natural Light by calling toll-free 1-800-453-1983. That's 1-800-453-1983.
There's a farm pond not too far from here, and Rayo has the day all to himself. And today, well, today's going to be different. Rayo didn't charge boat batteries or fill gasoline tanks last night because he didn't plan to launch his bass boat this morning. Instead, he'll try something different. He remembers a younger day when he did a lot of this. More quiet approach to fooling old line sides. You guessed it, he's going to wait around the banks. Remember when you used to do that? If you do, then you'll probably remember the lure Rayo plans to use.
Today we're going to fish a farm pond. Around Bayou, Arkansas, where I live, there's literally hundreds of these. This is type places that I started fishing when I was a young man. These ponds will vary anywhere from a half acre to acre, anywhere up to maybe as 20 or 25 acres. And to me, they taught me a lot about fishing. Today, I'm going to start off using a Bayou Boogie. This is one of the old original baits made by the Whopper Stopper Company. And I've been using this lure for, it seemed like to me, 20 or 25 years. And it's a lure that has always been productive for me, especially in this type of farm pond fishing. You know, I say 20, 25 years, it's a lure that, to me, will always produce, especially in these farm ponds. Let me get this lure here in my pocket. It falls slow, it runs good, and how I'm going to try to fish it today, I'm going to cast it out in a deeper part of the pond and let it fall slowly to the bottom. Pick it up till I feel it vibrating, and then let it fall slowly back down. And the fish will hit on the fall. You'll get a small tick on your line or a pretty good thump on it. A hit will catch every type of bass, small or large. And again, To me, it's one of the better winter lures, especially, and if I'm not careful, I'm going to tell how old I am. If this lure has been in production a long time, the fish don't know this. This lake here is probably, this pond here is probably 3, 4, 5 year old or something like that, or 6. And they don't know that and never saw this lure. So I'm going to present it to them and see if they'll hit it. Come up out of that. Look at him shake that old head. Come up out of that. He's kicking up mud. Kicking up mud. Ooh, here. Slide right on the grass. He's trying to do all his fighting out here. Wouldn't you like to catch a passel of them every time you went out? That's what I like about this farm pond fishing. You can catch some real good bass in the wintertime. You see I'm wading out here. I got on boots, leather boots. A fish like that is worth, one fish is worth coming for. You'll probably go 6 or 7 pounds. That is some good fish, any place. You know, literally, we've got hundreds of these in the Mid-South. Get out of that grass. He's got his head against the grass. There he goes. He got a mouthful of leaves. Yeah, he got rid of the leaves then. You know, we've got hundreds of these in the Mid-South, especially in the hill country. Farm ponds from an acre, half acre, all the way up to 8 and 10 acres, some of them, or maybe even 20. And there's some, to me, it's some of the finest fishing that we have. He's still trying to go to the bank on me out there. Got to get over that little hump. It's some of the finest fishing that we have is a farm pond type fishing. To me, it's some of the best fishing we have. I really enjoy it, and I like to enjoy getting out of a boat, wading and doing fishing like this at times. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that little dude. He ain't that big, but will he fight? See the boil on him? Come on up here on the grass bed, biggin. Come on up here. Ooh. He got to look at me. Yeah. He gets on that grass, he'll stop. Whoop, watch it. He got so much spunk in him, I'm not afraid to catch hold of him. You know, I mentioned fishing from a bank here like this. Get that one hook out of there. Sort of reminded me back when I was a youngster, this is how I started fishing on, get your head out of the grass. How I started fishing, farm ponds and things like that. And another thing, there's a lot of these ponds that you don't have a chance to put a boat in. There's no way you can put one in. There's no access to it. And that's one of the reasons I'm walking here today. Just drove up to the pond and started fishing it. I got me some trash. I don't think I mentioned yet, when I walk up to a bank here on a farm pond like this, what I do is try to fan cast it. I don't try it, I do. Throw about 5 to 10 feet apart and make sure that I work the whole area before I move, which I'm going to do right now. I was talking about the fan casting there a while ago. I try to cover all the area that I'm standing in, going from the left to right, all the way around before I move. And when I move up on the pond, up on the bank, I tried to move up just far enough where I can reach, or almost reach, the area that I just fished where I fan cast. That way you can cover the whole pond, or whole area. You know, when I'm casting this out, raise my rod tip up and let it sink down. Now, it takes a little while to let lure. It's a light lure, it falls slow, but look, to get all the way to the bottom, and then you sure want to get it down all the way to the bottom. This is where I like to fish it in the winter because of the coldness of the water and the way the fish are hit. Let it drop and put it to him. Come up out of there, biggin. Oh, he don't want to stick his head up. He got to look at me. Sure is a world. Woof, we're a biggin. Come back up here. Come on back. Back up to the grass. Whoop. Easy there. Boy, them fish feels good. They feel good out there. You know, a lot of people stop fishing in the winter. And to me, it's some of the best fishing we have of the year and the most enjoyable. Get out of that grass out of there, biggin. Of any time of the year. Now, naturally, you gotta slow your lure down, like I'm doing now. I keep on mentioning that, but that is very important when this water is cold. Pumping it up slow, letting it fall right back. You know, I think I mentioned walking in here a while ago, and all the times I've been in here, I never have saw a vehicle. And while I was out here fishing, a couple of guys brought a boat in here, slid out off the grass, and they're fishing with a boat around the bend. But most of these farm ponds, there is no access to the fishing. And I love to get out here and just walk around what I'm doing here and let it take my time and just fish.
You're right. It sure is a pretty lake.
It sure is. My lot's right over there. We thought we were going to have a house on it by now, but with the high cost of building and interest rates out of sight, there's just no way.
Well, my boy, I can see you hadn't been watching the Jim Walter Homes commercials on my show. You can build now. They'll build for you and finance at only 10% annual percentage rate.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Have you been stymied trying to build on your property because of high construction costs and the high rate of financing? Then take a look at Jim Walter Homes. We'll build for you to almost any stage, up to 90% complete. And financing, only 10% annual percentage rate. A rate that most likely will cut your payments nearly $100 per month. Call Jim Walter for details, 1-800-237-2771. It's a free call. In Florida, 1-800-282-2789. Or call your local Jim Walter.
Fisherman, I'm proud to recommend Bass Tracker, the #1 selling bass boat in the world. More than just a bass boat, Bass Tracker's a complete fishing machine equipped with the finest perfectly matched components and assembled by factory-trained professionals. There are 5 popular models to choose from, featuring Mercury outboards, Minn Kota trolling motors, Lowrance Eagle fish finders, bilge pumps, aerated live wells, rod holders, and custom heavy-duty Bass Tracker trailers. Fast and energy efficient, they're a breeze to pull behind today's smaller cars. The best buy I've ever seen. You can actually purchase these complete packages factory direct from the world's largest manufacturer of bass boats, Bass Pro Shop, Springfield, Missouri, for the remarkable low price ranging from $26.95 to $54.95. Call toll-free 1-800-TRACKER and receive this 100-page discount fishing tackle catalog, including complete information on Bass Trackers, absolutely free. That's 1-800-TRACKER. Act before March 15th and receive up to a $200 rebate. Prices are subject to change, so you'd better hurry.
Let me just show you something right here. See this little ditch right over here? Actually, what it does, the farther out in the pond it gets, the deeper it'll get. And I think those fish will travel out of the main part of the creek to this ditch on either side of it, left or right. And I'm going to start out fishing on the right side of it. Fishing in the wintertime like this, I mentioned, could be enjoyable. And I think one of the reasons for that is it's been warm for 3 or 4 nights. And this water will warm up quick in these farm ponds. And that tends to really turn them on, and turn them on in a hurry. Now, it may be a little bit raw on the bank, but this fishing out here, it won't fall down there. This fishing out here can really be something that you see what I'm doing here on this small pond here. There he is. Come up out of there. Oh, how you doing? If he was as cold as my toes are, he wouldn't move that fast. Coming up, coming up. Whoa. Come on back around here. Come on back, biggin. Yeah, he saw me then. Wah. It's unreal how strong those fish are when they turn and go the opposite way from me. Nearly pulled me in. That'd be something, wouldn't it? That's why he nearly pulled me in. Get down through there. There he goes. I tell you what, I think I'm getting so nervous catching these fish. I try to get in too big a hurry. I'll do like everybody else. I'll backlash if I try to get in too big a hurry. I think this would help me about as much as anything I could do. You know, I think I ever mentioned line weight. I'm using a 14-pound test. I like to use as light a line as I can in a farm pond. This water's pretty clear. You know, 3-4 days ago, this water was probably 38 or 40 degrees. And these warm nights has warmed it up. And the fish, although they're active hitting, when you bring them out of that deep water, they don't cut up, jump, clear the water like they will in the warm water in the summertime. But they fight out there. Let it fall. Oh, I got me a monster. You know, I wonder what that rascal was doing in there with them good fish. But he was in there. You know, a fish of this size could make you think sometime the way he was running, he'll weigh 3 or 4 pounds. I don't know where I got the fish, or the fish has got me. Come out of there. I got it right in the bone. I'll get my little needle nose. If I find them, I always keep them handy. Makes you wonder, I think I mentioned. Yeah, there he goes. You catch a small fish like that in with those large ones, but it'll happen. Lake like pond like this, you'll have every type of fish in, because usually they'll get a good spawn on these lakes. The water don't fluctuate all that much, so in the spring you get a good spawn, and you'll have a continuous cycle of fish here. Now, get back over here about 2 o'clock and let it sink down. I stuck a hook in me there a while ago, just a little. Let it sink, pump it up, bring it up. Yep, there he is. Come up here, big. He's taking off for the 4 places. Come on up here. Coming up. Oh, that fish thinks it's midsummer. Come on back here, biggin. Thought he's going to get my boots there for a minute. Thought he's going to get my boots. He won't go back again. Well, we'll just circle till we get a landing here. You believe how that fish is pulling? One more time, boy. And I'll get my hand in your mouth. I tell you, he was getting with it. I tell you what, them hooks are so sharp that people makes this boogie put some sharp hooks on it. Isn't that a pretty fish? We'll let him go right there. And get back out there. Get the boogie. Thought I had a crappie for a minute. Look here what I've got me. Come up here, Lillian. You know, I said there would probably be every size in here. Want sure take it easy with him. Put a little fish in it. We'll let him get back there. Get him some other time. You know, one thing, this wind today is really strong at times. And I'm throwing against it at the present time. If you don't think I like to fish, I gotta get out here close to them. I like to get as close to them dudes as I can. I could do it actually fishing up here on a bank, but I throw better and land the fish better. And one thing I never did like to do, and I saw so many fish lost, is try to lift them out of the water up on the bank. So I like to get at least to the water line or down in it. I think I'm part duck anyway. I believe my left toe is getting numb now. Ooh. Come on, biggin'. You're gonna get me in the water. I don't know where I've got the fish, or the fish has got me. Come up here. You don't want to come in at all. Yeah, just let you swim around here and beat yourself, old boy. Come on. When you come in for landing, you had it. Yeah. Don't you jump now. Yeah, he was going to. You know, another thing I talk about wading down in the water, my toes are actually numb, but I'm enjoying the fishing. Dragging these fish up on the bank. Oh, swim away. Dragging them up on the bank, you take the protective coating they have on them, you take a chance of punching out their eye or knocking off scales and injure them. Besides, they're losing a part of them, trying to hawk them out of the water. So I let them just get down in it. And like I said, my toes are a little bit numb. Not bad.
Now just think of all the farm ponds that are open for you to fish. Put them all together and add up their acreage, and it may be more wading water than you could fish in a lifetime. And if you continue to be courteous, ask the landowner for permission to enter his property. Don't litter. You'll add even more acreage to your list of fishing holes.
Come on up here. Come on up here, baby. Get out of there, right up on the grass. Whoa. Isn't that something? Out here in the wintertime, fishing on a farm pond, catching fish like that, that is a pretty fish. You want to get him back in the water as quick as you can. Get him again next year. Pump it just a little and let it fall out there on that gut. Get it close to the bank here, I got to get it in a hurry. Let it down, pump it, let it fall. Right easy.
The water's way too cold to stand around in much longer. Well, maybe just one more fish. And even Rayo will probably admit that it's time to go to the house and find some dry socks.
Oh, he don't want to come to the bank. Whoa, try and get up my boot leg. Yeah, come out on down here. Right up on the bank. I like sliding him up on the bank. Gives me a feeling of really landing him by myself. Gotta get my little needle nose. It's not a bad fish, is it? For a wintertime fish, look how pretty that thing is, the markings on it.
We'll see you next week, folks. Same time, same place.
You're right. It sure is a pretty lake.
It sure is. My lot's right over there. We thought we were going to have a house on it by now, but with the high cost of building and interest rates out of sight, there's just no way.
Well, my boy, I can see you hadn't been watching the Jim Walter Homes commercials on my show. You can build now. They'll build for you and finance at only 10% annual percentage rate.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Have you been stymied trying to build on your property because of high construction costs and the high rate of financing? Then take a look at Jim Walter Homes. We'll build for you to almost any stage, up to 90% complete. And financing, only 10% annual percentage rate. A rate that most likely will cut your payments nearly $100 per month. Call Jim Walter for details, 1-800-237-2771. It's a free call. In Florida, 1-800-282-2789. Or call your local Jim Walter office.
Fishermen everywhere are being amazed by these revolutionary new fish formulas that attract fish by smell. Fish Formula 1 is for catfish. Fish Formula 2 is for crappie, brim, bass, walleye, and other game fish. So when the fishing action slows down, simply apply Fish Formula to either live bait or artificial lures, and you'll be surprised at the difference it can make. It's already surprising some pretty well-known fishermen.
Believe me, the fish formulas really work. Ask your local dealer about them.
A lot of fishing reels wind up with backlash. Now there's one that won't. Magforce from Daiwa. Turn up the magnetic spool control, and backlash is just about impossible. Turn down the dial, and you're in control of one of the longest casting, most accurate bass reels anywhere. Get the Magforce anti-backlash system from Daiwa. It's the outfit that lets you tangle with your fish, not your line.
Rayo Breckenridge Outdoors has been brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, by Jim Walter Homes, building together to save you money, by Daiwa, committed to total quality, and by Red Man Chewing Tobacco, sponsors of the Red Man Tournament Trail. Cinesport also gratefully acknowledges these other sponsors that help make our show possible. We hope you've enjoyed Rayo Breckenridge Outdoors, and we invite you to join us again next week at this same time. Rayo Breckenridge Outdoors is brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, by Jim Walter Homes, building together to save you money, by Daiwa, committed to total quality, and by Red Man Chewing Tobacco, sponsors of the Red Man Tournament Trail.
When your reputation's on the line, better fish Stren. When the tournament's on the line, better fish Stren, the dependable line from DuPont. Stren's unique balance of properties lets you set the hook hard and know that your best knots will hold up. So when a lunker's on the line, better fish Stren. Because the best fishing is Stren fishing.
Hang on, crappie. Notice me, I'm getting low. Golly, wouldn't you like to catch a limit of them?
Well, you can do it, my friends, by using Rayo's favorite crappie lure, the Canyon Mini Jig. And they're available throughout the entire Mid-South now. Try them just once, and you'll see why Rayo always says
it's the best panfish lure I've ever used.
This is Bill Jones. Like most of us these days, Bill works hard to earn a living. Every dollar counts big. Several years ago, he finished paying for a piece of property where he wanted to build. So what's the problem? First, mortgage money became scarce. Loans were just not available. Then building costs went up and up. Now it's interest rates. Paying 13 or 14% or more puts monthly payments out of sight. Is Bill's situation hopeless? No, it's not. Not by any means. Jim Walter Homes will build for you on your property to almost any stage up to 90% complete. And financing, only 10% annual percentage rate. A rate that most likely will cut your payments nearly $100 per month. Get complete details from Jim Walter Homes today. Call 1-800-237-2771. It's a free call. In Florida, 1-800-282-2789. Or call your local Jim Walter office.
I'm on Lake Poinsette. It's wintertime. The water's cold, about 46, 7 degrees. And these fish will congregate close but deep. And naturally, why they go deep is on account of the cold weather. As it gets colder, the fish will usually go deeper. And the colder the water gets, the tighter they will get in and around these creek channels. The lure I'm going to be using today is a 3/8 ounce jig, made by Strike King Lure Company. I've got a leech on here, a pork leech of Mr. Pork. And why I like to use this rig, this leech will float. Help float this jig, slow and easy. It's got good action to it. You can see it's pliable. Now, the reason we'll start out with this 3/8 ounce jig is have got a little wind. I like to use as light a jig as I can use because these fish will slow down. You'll notice this particular jig here has a fiber guard on it. Now, I like this over the other type jigs. I think it's more weedless, and you see it will spring down easy, coming over the structure that I'll be fishing. Now, what I'm going to be fishing today is the creek channels and the little drops. I'm going to show you this in a minute. It's very important because these fish, to me, will stay on or near these deep channels that we have. Let me show you something. I've got a diagram here of this particular lake. And these are the places that I like to fish. And I think anybody that fishes structure does. You can see here we got the main feeder channel comes all the way through to the dam. Then the secondary creeks, what I would like to call them, coming into the main channel. What I like to fish is these U-turns, bends, the sharpens, like we have here. A feeder creek that would come into it like this one here. And especially these turns where it comes close to land or a point of land like we would have here or here, where I'm going to start today. Now, I was down here a day or two ago, and I've already, like I mentioned before, we've got these fish located. And this is where I like to fish in the wintertime. And to me, it was what will pay off for you. I think I covered about everything but 3 or 4 things. You never cover everything fishing, but one thing I failed to mention was line weight. I'm using a 14-pound test, and the reason for that, this water is clear, but I am fishing this structure, or going to fish this structure, And I'm afraid to go to a lighter line because these fish are right down in this structure. So you got to have a heavy enough line to hold this drag that you will get on this structure. Also, with a heavier line, you don't get as good a feel, I don't think, near as good a feel as you do with your lighter lines. And fishing heavy structure, 14 pound, is not all that heavy. Something that also I want to mention, I'm talking about the line, is very important to me, is to be a line watcher. Because these fish will hit so light at times, it's hard to detect. Naturally, your hands are at times a little bit cold. But if you're watching that line close, you can see that small tail click of the line or tick of the line. And when you see this, always be on the ready. Set the hook immediately. I'm about ready to get out there and see if these fish are still where I had them a day or two ago and get amongst them. I'll lay that down right there. You know, something we seldom talk about fishing, and that's boat position. I've got my boat already with the motor over a limb, stump limb. And all I'll have to do is work the front of my boat. And that, to me, is really going to be a plus because I know exactly where I'm going to fish. And boat position is so important, especially in winter fishing. Ah, quit shaking that head. Quit shaking that head. That's a good fish. His lips is even red. They're cold. How about that? Get in there and get another one. Get in a hurry. Always get in a hurry. When you're on fish, let it go to the bottom. Pick that dude up real easy and let it fall back. Work it right away every little stump like that one. You know, them ducks are getting closer and closer. And one there, I believe there he is. Oh, he dropped it. There he is, he come back. Yeah, good fish. You know, that fish took that bait when it's coming off that ledge, come on up here, and dropped it. Or I didn't feel him, then he come back and thumped it again. Oh, look at there, shaking his head. Whoo! That's a one near. Look at that. That old mouth's tough, but I don't mind it. Ain't that a dandy fish? Well, let you go. Told you that was a good fish. There's a bunch of them down there if you can just get on them. Those 2 and 3 pounders gets on before them big ones do, I think, sometime. Yeah, that's a good one. Kick my trolling motor back just a little. I tell you what I'm going to do. I want to take a second. I don't know what my problem is. Get some of this. You know, my old granddaddy used to tell me, that's why he used to catch fish. But I don't know about that part. See what I'm going to do right now. Slide right down here, and I know this will help me. Get some of my juice, spray it right there, and get it back out there right on my spot. And I bet you that will add to my stringer just a little bit. Let it fall right down in there. You know, I don't think I ever mentioned about how deep I was catching these fish. They're running anywhere from about 8 to 15. I'm coming off in this creek channel, and some of them hitting up on top of it, and some of them naturally down in it. But they're running anywhere from 8 to 15 foot in or around that creek channel. There he is. Come up. Oh, that's a good fish. That is a good fish. Oh, you don't want to come out of there. Good fish. Told you that's a good fish. Come on, look at him shake that. Come up here. That's a neat fish. Get a hold of him in a hurry. Isn't that a pretty thing? Can get the hook out of his mouth. Yeah, dandy. You know, this lake is full of this fish. If you can just get them to hit. And when I like to fish them is this time of year. Literally full of them. Oh, let you get him right on off there. In that thing, boy. Did he take off? Did he take off? I better get back down there in a hurry. Get down and hurry. Some of these creek channels you're throwing across are smaller ones, the narrow ones. I try to throw all the way across them. We're throwing bank 10 feet beyond it and pull it off on. Ah! Come up out of there. It did. He threw that one back at me. You're gonna miss some of these fish, although I hardly ever miss one. I'm just kidding. I do in the wintertime. These fish don't hit as hard most of the time in the winter as they do in the summertime or in the warm weather. In fact, sometimes you detect a very small tick, and other times it seems like the fish are just there. Not, you know, you don't feel that good solid tick like you do in the warm weather. So naturally, your hand's a little bit cooler and that sort of thing, so you're going to miss one once in a while. There he is. Come on up out of that small. But he will keep. I'd like to get right down in that creek. Oh, he got right under the boat. Come out from under there. Come on out. Oh, come out of that. Whoop.
How many times have you wished someone would come up with an easier way of rigging plastic worms and still be weedless? Well, Mr. Twister's keeper concept is the simplest method I've seen. The key is this little keeper shank that keeps the lure from slipping off. You simply push the keeper shank into the head of the worm and insert the hook point into the lure body, keeping it straight, solid, and completely weedless. Once you realize the advantage of the keeper concept, you'll be catching keeper fish.
The Keeper Concept by Mr. Twister, weedless fishing made simple.
For a limited time, receive Mr. Twister Keeper Lure Pack for only $12. Visa or MasterCard customers call toll-free 1-800-528-6600 or send check or money order to Mr. Twister, Post Office Drawer 1152, Department UBD, Minden, Louisiana 71058, 1152.
Let's settle in here, all right? I'm guessing that they're hiding right out in this grass. Watch me, partner. It's all in the wrist. Oh, I got bit. Big. Get him on in. Let's get a look at that hog. Oh, nice meeting you, big guy.
The Red Man reaction. Satisfaction.
To help you catch fish like these this year, the folks at Strike King are constantly improving their famous family of lures, like this new living rubber spinnerbait skirt that really looks different in the water, and this open loop line tie that finally eliminates line twist while providing twice the vibration of other spinnerbaits, or these individually hand-tied bootlegger jigs. There's also a brand new 1/8 ounce mini Buzz King, a lure that fishermen everywhere have asked for. Quality Strike King lures. Now they're even better, and that's saying a lot.
There he is. He ain't that big, but he is all right, I bet you. Oh, come up from there. Come up from there. Come up here. Get that head up there. Come on. Yeah. Whew. That's a nice little old chunk of a bass. I'm not going to unhook him. I had him at the right place. Isn't that a dandy for a winter bass? You probably noticed that the sunshine has got bright on me. I first started shooting this film. It's dark overhead. And finally it went to raining. Not just a little, but a lot. When that front passed through, it broke off clear. The wind started. We got a high sky right now, and the wind is switched from the north, which sometimes don't make it easy to catch these fish. What I've done, I've moved off into deeper water, quite a bit deeper, probably as much as down as 20 to 25 feet. Most of the time. If you remember, when I was catching these fish, at first, they were quite a bit shallower than that. Although some of them were down 17 to 20 feet then. But it takes a long time, if you notice that jig, to get down. I'm still fishing the creek guts. It's got a drop on it. That's very important. This fishing, to me, after a front goes through, and you got those high skies where you can see forever, could be some of your toughest fishing. For some reason, the fish just don't want to hit after one of these fronts. But we've started off here with one. Come on. If you notice, I've been releasing my fish. I dropped that one in a well. Since it's turned cold and fishing may be tough for a while, I decided they'd keep me 3 or 4 of these dudes for a mess fish. I like to eat fish too. I don't like to keep no more than what I need, but I do like to eat fish, so I take me 3 or 4 home sometime. Especially in this cold weather, these fish are really good then. Come on here. Come up out of there, little one. Get out of that trash. I believe I can bring him up like this. That's not a big fish, but he's not a bad one. You know, that's the type of really fish that I like to eat, so I believe I'll just drop him down in there. I believe he'll be about the right size. See, I'm about to get back a little bit close to you. Back up. Get right out there. You notice I sort of picked me a protected area here. I've got a drop here that's close to a point of land. It's not too far out there to land. And luckily, it's about 2 or 3 places like that on this small lake that is like this, where we can get out of the wind. Out here on the main part of the lake, it's pretty rough. But here the wind is not strong at all. Probably notice after I get a certain distance coming to me here with jig, after I work it, after I come up over, down and over that drop, we're coming up, I pick up my jig fast and reel it in fast. I don't think it's, you know, it would really do me any good to work it onto the boat, and that's why you see me reeling so fast sometimes. After I fish the structure where I think the fish are, I go ahead and bring my reel in, jig in fast, so I can get back out there. Come on up here. Oh, come on, you ain't that big. You're not that big. No. He's not that big, but he looks like humongous to me here in this cold weather. Let's see. That ought to make me just about all I would want. So I'm gonna pitch him right down in there. That's about 3. That ought to make me about all I want to eat. Just taste them dudes right now. Come on, come here. Come on. How you doing? Come out of his deep hole down there. Whoop here. Oh, yeah, look. Get your head up out there. I'll bring you in like a plane. Yeah, I'll bring you in like a plane if that's where you want to do it. Yeah. I heard somebody get on a stump over in a boat. Oh, I didn't have him too good. I barely had him. Ain't that a dandy little chunk? We'll let him go for a year or 2. Catch him next year. Come on, swim. There he goes. Oh, the wind has got me. Got to turn. We can do that in a hurry. We can do that. That wind sitting on this point all over protected, it will come around this point in different directions. Those fish today, as this front has come through this way, are not hitting as hard. Oh, I felt something there. You notice fishing this jig, I don't know whether I explained it or not, by jiggling my rod tip. Easy. What I'm trying to do is make that jig just move a little bit at a time. And with this rubber-legged jig type I'm using here, that makes that, all those rubber legs on it, flare like this. To me, it really adds to, especially your winter fishing.
Now and then a new product comes along that I really get excited about, like this new Eagle sonar, made by Lowrance, with all the features you need in a good sonar. Like high power for high-speed running and extreme sensitivity. And it's waterproof. I mean really waterproof. It's even filled with dry nitrogen, like a fine rifle scope. And because it's made by Lowrance, you know it's reliable. The Eagle, with tomorrow's technology today.
This is Throbber, the lure from Whopper Stopper Fliptail with a beating heart. Look at those lifelike throbs, which bring smashing strikes from all game fish. Because of the amazing new animation, Sports Afield magazine picked the Throbber to be 1983's hot lure. Throbbing action is built in, no batteries needed. Get Throbber today and catch fish like this. See your nearest dealer for the genuine Throbber from Whopper Stopper Fliptail.
You know, there's nothing like a classic. Elegant lines, the finest quality, craftsmanship in every detail. Now, this is a classic, too. It's the famous Ranger bass boat. Every line, every detail says quality. Just what you'd expect from the people who pioneered modern boat design. If you could have any bass boat in the world, this is the one you'd choose. Ranger. There's nothing like a classic.
A lot of fishing reels wind up with backlash. Now there's one that won't. Magforce from Daiwa. Turn up the magnetic spool control, and backlash is just about impossible. Turn down the dial, and you're in control of one of the longest casting, most accurate bass reels anywhere. Get the Magforce anti-backlash system from Daiwa. It's the outfit that lets you tangle with your fish, not your line.
Rayo Breckenridge Outdoors has been brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, by Jim Walter Homes, building together to save you money, by Daiwa, committed to total quality, and by Red Man Chewing Tobacco, sponsors of the Red Man Tournament Trail. Cinesport also gratefully acknowledges these other sponsors that help make our show possible. We hope you've enjoyed Rayo Breckenridge Outdoors, and we invite you to join us again next week at this same time.